Good morning, YouTube. Brin here from bigender.net. So I posted a video last night and saying that the website's back up. Thankfully, it still is. But I wanted to talk a little bit about my trip to Yale and sort of share what happened so that, if it takes me a while to load the actual talk video, then, you have an idea. So I was invited out by the LGBTQ co-op at Yale to come out as part of their Trans Awareness Week and talk about being bigender. And so I did. My girlfriend and I flew out to New York on Saturday, bright and early on Saturday, and got to tour Lower Manhattan, which I'd never been to. And we saw Rent off-Broadway, which was really awesome. Go see it if you're in the New York area, because it's a wonderful production. We also saw Gotham City. We stumbled into Gotham City after we had gone to check out Occupy Wall Street. We were walking down. We figured, once we'd seen Occupy Wall Street, we should go see Wall Street. So we went down to Wall Street and we saw these signs that were telling the story of the Gotham Stock Exchange. And my girlfriend asked, so is Gotham like another name for New York City? And I was like, well, Gotham City in the comic book was based off of New York, so maybe, but I don't know if I've ever heard of the Gotham Stock Exchange. We went to another sign and said Exploring Lower Gotham. She goes, we're in Gotham City. This is the set for Batman, which explained all of the weird white foam that we'd seen all over the place. Because all of Wall Street had been redressed for Gotham City because they were filming Batman there that weekend. So we got to walk through the set and see a couple of the tumblers that the Batmobile was in the first movie. There's like 3 of them in this one scene that we didn't get to see filmed, but that was filmed in the area we were in. So that was really cool in a very geeky way. And let's see. We went to Times Square and did a bunch of touristy stuff, but we ended up we went to New Haven that night and spent the rest of the time there. Got to tour Yale with Mariana, who's the one who invited us out. We just sort of relaxed and had a good time, and Yale is huge, and there's like castles everywhere. And the student population is not too very big, so it was just really astounding for the size. It's not the same as the college I went to, that's for sure. Then we went to the talk on Monday night, and I didn't realize that we were on a time limit, so basically I sort of treated it like one of these videos, but without a file size limit. So I think I spoke for about 50 minutes and went through 4 cameras. I gave like a lot of history about myself and what bigender is, and I talked about bigender.net and, recording these videos and I guess everyone's really tickled by the fact that I talk about lighting and some technical stuff here, because I'm not a very technical person, and so when it comes to video stuff, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. But, it was a really great talk. There were like 20 people there or something, which is about twice as many as I thought was the best possibility of showing up. They actually seemed interested in what I had to say, I hope. Not everybody was checking their phones at the same time, so I'm hopeful that means that I didn't lose everybody at once. Kaylee Dahl from YouTube even came out. I didn't get a chance to sit with her and her girlfriend. They had to leave partway through. We got some really good questions. My girlfriend even got asked a question and gave a really wonderful answer. And it was just an absolutely amazing experience. I've never been asked to speak somewhere that wasn't, like speech team or part of a public speaking class. So, someone came up to me afterwards and asked if public speaking was part of my career. It's not. I told her that I'm a technologist by trade, so no. But it felt really good, and I hope that people felt their time was rewarded. Like I said, I didn't know there was a time limit, so we kind of got rushed out of there because they had a big election in the area yesterday, and they were having one of the candidates come in to talk to them. But we've met some really amazing people out there. And I just want to thank the LGBTQ co-op for inviting me out. I want to thank Mariana for taking the time and well, for getting all of this rolling in the first place. You know, afterwards we went out and had drinks with a couple of people. And it was just really cool to connect with, you know, with people who come from, I don't know, they're all 10 to 14 years younger than me, so it's really amazing to see what being queer in college is like today versus when I was doing it. There's so much more ownership of it and so much more, I don't know, a sense of being okay with it. Like, not even just with the people themselves, but like people around them, you know, the heteronormative folks. It's just something that they are accustomed to running into. They're going to find people that are gay or queer or, you know, trans on campus, and they're just used to it. And it's just amazing to me. One of the things I talked about in my talk was how when I was younger, how I regret being in college and not being out, and exploring that when I have this sort of safe space of campus to do that. Well, it didn't always feel like safe space for me then. You know, there was a big focus on the G, L, and B, and not so much on the T, and I didn't have the vocabulary that I needed anyway to come out properly back then, and I was just so scared of the retribution of being known as queer, and so I've had to make all of those struggles as an adult, which is much harder. So, you know, I just, I think it's amazing. These kids are growing up in a world that I've never seen before, and it's really kind of breathtaking. You know, things really are getting better. And, you know, it was a very privileged environment. It's Yale University, so it's not like there's, you know, a real huge cross-section of Western culture. There are small pockets of, you know, probably anything represented, but the predominant culture at Yale, I feel, is probably not the same as, you know, small-town America. Sorry, I'm shedding. So, you know, so I'm trying to be mindful of not extrapolating from this to the whole, but, you know, things really are getting better. And I feel like Yale probably is, you know, somewhat more conservative in its sort of cultural background. So to see a place like Yale doing that, you know, being that open and accepting is, I think, a big step. But I mean, it's granted, it's not University of the Old Deep South being that open. So I don't know. I don't know what it's like everywhere, but, you know, there are places. It's getting a lot better. And it's just so heartening to see. And it's just so amazing to see these kids so charged up and, you know, ready to take on the world and just owning who they are at such a young age. I gotta be careful I don't make myself sound too old, but, you know, I mean, they know so much more about themselves at age 20 than I did. At age 25, you know, and 30, and it's just astounding to me that that's possible, and that it's not just possible, but common. So, you know, it just blows my mind, and it was a really wonderful experience. And so, you know, I got to see Yale. I got to go to an Ivy League college, and they put us up in these really great accommodations, and, you know, it was a really lovely time, and, I hope there's an excuse to go back sometime. But, so one last thank you to all the Yaleys, and, Karen, the visitor, who is not a Yalie, but was also giving us a wonderful time, you know, we had a wonderful time with, but Mariana, Julio, Carmen, Margaret, Ben, just everybody at the co-op and who came out to the Women's Center. Thank you to Kaylee for, I don't know how long a commute it was, but I hope it was worth your time. So, really a great experience. Just absolutely once in a lifetime, and amazing. Oh, and irony of ironies. So the reason I got invited out was because of these videos and because of bigender.net, because these videos were created basically as a commercial for bigender.net to try and get people into the website. And it sort of morphed over time into, my more personal stuff, especially as the bigender.net collab channel was formed, and, there's a more specific target for that. But, so I went out to Yale at, I flew out to New York at like 4 a.m. on Saturday, and then 10 a.m. Central Time the website went down. And I could not get out to my host to make any, to do any repairs, because the service that I have doesn't come with any maintenance. So it's really just a lights on place, and it was down. And I could do nothing about it for 4 days. So I just felt horrible that I was going to go give this talk, and I was going to talk about bigender.net and talk about, this wonderful community and family that we have, and nobody could go join it and be a part of it. So I got home, I got it back up. There was still some hiccups yesterday, but it's back to where it belongs today. And, it was a little embarrassing, to be honest, but it is what it is. So yeah, come out to bigender.net, come out, create a journal. The YouTube invite code for the journals is to being you. Yaleys, there's one specifically for you. I created it and put it on the event. You can check that out. I met, Jim. You know what? I'm going to have to address that another time, because I don't have his contact information in front of me, and maybe I'm wrong. But I met a life coach who works with trans youth, and he was this really interesting man, and the services he provides are amazing. He does a parents group and a siblings group and a trans kids group all at one time. Separate rooms, but all at one time, so no one has to worry about a babysitter. His name is Tony Ferraiolo, certified life coach, and it's TonyFerraiolo.com, TonyFerraiolo.com. Certified life coach. I don't know why I said Jim. I did meet a Jim, but yeah. So I'll put a link to his information in the show notes. So check him out. And have a great day.